Morning guys, I just wanted to make this quick video about my photographing process. So how I take my photos, like a quick show of my setup, which I've done before, and then what I'm going to do is take you over to the computer side of things as well. So once I've taken my photos, how I get them onto the computer, and then how I edit them, get them ready for uploading onto a listing and doing it as quickly and as efficiently as possible. So without further ado, I'm going to show you. Okay guys, here's a quick view of my setup. You can see I've got a frame which is height adjustable and width adjustable, and on that frame I have hung what was a white bed sheet, and it's hung onto this frame with these pegs. I actually got this from Amazon with these lights. I think it was Amazon or eBay, I can't remember actually. But it came with these pegs, and these really cool softbox lights, which I like using. Now the bed sheet has become really filthy over time. Just by it's difficult to pick up here, which is good, but they've become filthy with all the kind of items, like dirt from items and things like shoes or even dusty electronics, etc., making a lot of mess on there. However, when you take the photo, because it's all bright white, you can kind of expose the photo for the right effect. So when it's all lit up, just turn the lights on because it's nice and bright. Now this is something to bear in mind. Everything is like set up here to create a nice white background, but as you can see in the film, the camera is trying to just compensate because it thinks there's too much bright white on the screen, so it actually dulls down what you're seeing. So what I'm seeing right now is a really white background, but it's coming out very grey on the screen, and that's the same thing that happens when you take photos. So here's an item that I'm going to be photographing just to show you guys, nice and simple item. This is something I showed in one of my videos. This is Fluffy, the three-headed dog from Harry Potter. Really cool figure. His mouth open, all three of his mouths open. So I'm going to stand him up and take a few photos. And what I will do is I will show you what the photos come out like, and what they look like after I've done editing them. Okay guys, once you've taken your photos and you've gotten them onto your computer, I mean there's a number of ways you can do that. A lot of people use online storage such as Google Drive or Dropbox or wherever, or you can just connect your phone or your camera via a USB cable to your computer and just copy the photos from your phone or your camera across to your computer. Once you've gotten your photos onto your computer, which most people will know how to do, in Windows you will be able to access them. So I keep all my folders, my eBay photos, in a folder called eBay stuff. So if I double click on that, you can see all the photos that I've got at the moment. Now here is the dog picture, the Fluffy the dog. These are the pictures I took earlier. Now what I'm going to do is just double click on it, and it opens it up in photo gallery. So this is what the photos that I took look like without any cropping or anything like that. So I can just go through the photos. So you can see that I've taken that photo in a portrait mode. That's in landscape, 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 and again. So you can see that's what the photos look like without any editing. Now they're not terrible by any stretch of the imagination, but they look a little bit duller than they did. My lighting is very bright and it just isn't coming across. Because like I said, most cameras, when they see something that's super bright, will adjust it. So the majority of these photos is still white, and then you've got this small object in the middle which isn't. And my phone camera is, has done a great job of taking the photo, but it's made the photo kind of the exposure compensation, I suppose, is off. So that's what we're going to adjust in the editing. Now what you do is, like I said, you double click on your photo. I'll just do it again. Double click on it and it opens a photo in photo gallery. Then on the top left hand side you can see that it says edit, organize or share. If you click on that, this is Windows 10 by the way, what will happen is this window opens up. So that window opens up here, which is the photo gallery editor. So you can see what it's doing is it's loaded that photo up that I was using, and it's loaded up all the other photos that were in that folder as well. So basically everything that was in that other folder is now loaded up in the photo gallery editing software, which is all part of Windows 10. I didn't have to do anything. Now if I double click again, you'll see I have a bunch of different options at the top of the screen, and it makes it really quick and easy to edit things. If I press the crop button, it will pretty much choose a relevant size crop, and I can just quickly adjust it for what I want, and bam, there you go. And then there's another option here called exposure. So just choose drop down menu, and it's got some presets. So really low. That's what I think that's probably the default. But then you can see that it gets brighter as I move along these different options. So that's the brightest exposure there that I'm mousing over. But that's how I think the original photo looks like. That's how it currently looks like. Yep, there you go. So the middle one is as the standard. So you can see it's very detailed. I've cropped in, but it still looks a bit dull. It just doesn't look how it did in, when I was taking the photo. So you can decide how much you want it to pop out. I think that's too much. I sometimes go for maybe that option or that option depending on the photo. You just have to judge it, and then that's it. It's done. You can even straighten your photo with this straighten option as well at the top. If you press that, it straightens it. In this case, it hasn't done a very good job of straightening it, so I would probably not want to have that as that straightening. So I can just show you, if I click revert back to original, that's what the original photo I took looked like. Now, if I uploaded that, it just wouldn't be, I don't think, as good. You're not getting to see the item up close, and in the same level of detail as when you crop it. So cropping is majorly important, and then with the exposure, there you go. And then you can just move to the next photo. So these are different photos I've got of a different item, but let me just go back to the other ones of Fluffy the dog. There you go, here's another photo. I can just show you how quick it is. You can just go, you can just choose the options and get through it pretty quickly. Crop again. Most of the time when you press the crop button, it will choose a decent size crop, so you don't even have to mess around with the crop, and then brighten it. There you go. Crop button again. In that case, the crop button, the box isn't as big as it needs to be, so you can just adjust it, and then again change the exposure, move on to the next one. And you can actually move forward and back through the photos using your arrow key as well. So you can definitely cycle through and edit a whole bunch of photos very, very quickly, I think. And it's nice and simple, and it does a good job in my opinion. So there's another one done. And there we go, get these close up of the heads in. There you go. So people will get a really good idea that these are play worn, they've got, paint rubbed off, etc. But when they receive the item, they'll know what it is. Now, this photo is a bit of a weird one because sometimes the camera adjusts the lighting type, but and that's why there's like a bit of a yellowy hue. But I'm just going to crop in here on the maker's mark. So taking that huge photo down to just the maker's mark, so people can see that it's 2001 Warner Brothers and China. So all the information they could possibly need. So you can see all those photos done pretty quickly. And you can rattle through the photos at a really good pace. So okay guys, so you've just seen how I edit my photos on using the Windows Photo Gallery editor. I hope you guys find it useful. Like I said, this is on Windows 10, but I believe it's also the same situation on Windows 7 and 8 as well. I'm not sure about how you do something similar on Chrome or the Mac, but I'm sure there will be alternative options which will do the same job. But I just thought I'd share because a couple of people asked. If you do have any further questions about the whole photographing and editing process, I'm by no means a pro at any of this. This is just how I do it. I find that my photos look decent. in my opinion, again. So there will be people that will be looking at these photos thinking, gosh, that's horrible. It's not exposed correctly. It's overexposed, or it's blurry, or it's not right, or whatever. That's fine. But this is just how I do things. So hopefully you guys will have gotten some useful information from that. Like I said, if you've got any further questions about any of this, leave a comment in the comment section. Leave a thumbs up if you enjoyed the video, and I will see you guys in the next video. Thank you for watching.